afternoon, good morning. How you doing? It's Saturday night. I thought do a bit of a live stream. My whole schedule is blown out of the water, and I am still riding the Rona highway. Man, this thing does not go away. Oh my God, what a freaking nightmare. Yeah, so I'm getting better at that, right? I am getting better. The trick, I think, to getting over Corona is to rest, and I am shit at doing that. I am absolutely garbage at resting. I hate doing it. I forced myself a couple days this week. And it's just been Sabbath where I slept like a lot, right? So I'm feeling a little bit better, but still I'm popping myself full of drugs at every given moment, just to remain vaguely lucid, right? That's the Rona highway for you. I hope you're having a good Saturday. I have no idea what's going on. And for me, Sabbath ended 40 minutes ago. So I haven't had a spoon, that's important. So I don't really know what's been going on in the That looks like not much, right? Not much. There's a bit of an article on Radio Times I think we're going to look at. But fortunately, the world, well, I say fortunately, the world's still there. I mean, like, it's not in a good way. And the world, this has been the worst I've ever seen the world, right? And I don't know if I was just naive before, right? Or if I actually, if the world really is a lot worse than I thought it was. I saw this thing. Matt Walsh did this, I thought, quite funny bit about the Little Mermaid. There's a black Little Mermaid now, obviously, just like the black dwarves. And he made a very good point, right? His point was, wait a minute, look, he said he didn't mind anybody of any color playing the Little Mermaid, but he took issue with it on a scientific level. Like, if you live under the water, away from the sunlight, then your skin pigmentation is probably going to be translucent, right? You're going to be like see-through with the skull. Anyway, so that got misreported purposefully, I think. Basically, now it's just been this weird cycle of a made-up story of this guy calling this guy a racist when he clearly isn't. It's so stupid, it's thing. But that's the level of insanity we live in today. We got like Facebook giving private communications to the FBI because this person thinks that the Biden isn't entirely legitimate, which of course he is. YouTube, of course, Biden is completely legitimate, a completely legitimate president. He's as legitimate as a woman with a dick, which we all know is a normal thing. Women with penises is a normal thing. And anybody says there's not, they're just an icky racist, right? An icky, wicky racist. So I don't know if we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to look at the news together. I got a couple of articles I want to go to. We got to talk about Lord of the Rings. Man, that is shit. Like, okay, if you're hiring, again, why are there black dwarves, right? Don't dwarves all live under a bloody mountain? I would have thought, it's not like a hot summertime environment. It's as if they think skin color, skin pigmentation has no scientific basis whatsoever. But anyway, we've got a fat black dwarf in Lord of the Rings, and for some reason they keep showing you her chunky little legs. Why? Okay. I mean, she's a shit character, but and she looks like shit. So I don't understand. Who on earth thinks, oh, that's going to work a treat? Oh my God, they're all going to love a shit character that also looks like shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope none of you are watching Lord of the Rings because it's a nightmare. It's an hour and 10 minutes, so I had to watch it on Friday, and then I got the screen grabs, and I was like, oh, I wanted to die, right? I actually wanted to die because again, the Corona highway, it's not fun. But it's so boring. So when I go to the recap of that, I may have forgotten many details because who can remember this boring shit? Who is this for, right? Who is this for? Man, Amazon must be. I mean, I don't know. Is there any consequence for this type of failure? I really don't know. So yeah, we'll be looking at we'll look at news because again, I know what's gone down over Sabbath. It seems like everything. I saw the people from the very expensive Martha's Vineyard after voting for relentless open borders. When they were greeted with some, they shat themselves and called the National Guard. Yes, So Martha's Vineyard is a place where rich people live. It's a beautiful little island that all the presidents go to. Obama's got a $12 million mansion there on a beachfront property. It's going to be underwater in 3 years, of course. But, that's how he just wanted to help the economy. So there's lots and lots. There's open borders in America, which means there's lots and lots of illegal aliens coming in, and so these border towns just don't have the capacity for them. So they're shipping them around. They're shipping them to DC. But the funniest place they ship them to is Martha's Vineyard. Right? They gave them a ride to Martha's Vineyard, which is like this prime real estate, and just dumped them there. And they freaked out. They literally had to call the National Guard to get rid of these awful black people. Oh no, they're brown people in my beautiful White House. Yeah, I've always said liberals are the way the most racist people in the world, right? Anyway, so we got that story. I got Matt Smith here reading the weather, loving House of the Dragon. I think that's solidly enjoyable, right? And Matt Smith makes it. Without Matt Smith, it will be nowhere near as good, right? It would be nowhere near as strong. Here, let me pull up some thumbnails so we can see what we have coming up. I got a lot because I got to get a lot made because Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, is 1 week from today. Oh my God! So I want to tell you about my little odyssey I have tonight. Tonight starts the prayer service of Slichot. Slichot is just insanely sucky, right? It's insane, an insanely sucky series of prayers you do. 1 second, just pulling up all these things. Did I post that video yet? I don't know. I think I did. I'm not sure. That one and that one. Fine, let's open these up. Could do it again. 1 second. Doink. Here we go. There we go. Fine. Let me pull that up. Share screen. Yeah, so I'm not sure. The schedule's going to be a bit wacky. So yeah, tonight at 12:35, they do the special Slichot prayer. Slichot is basically when you take 15 minutes and you say a bunch of prayers saying, "I'm sorry, I'm a shit," to God, right? That's basically how it tries. It's very, very long and lengthy, but basically, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a shit. So normally the best time to say this is after midnight and before sunrise. So most people do that on the first night, which is tonight. You need to do at least 3 days of it, and you have to start after Sabbath, which means if the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, it falls on like a Tuesday, anything before Tuesday, you've got to do a whole extra week of them, which is what we're doing right now, because Jewish New Year is 10 days from now. Oh man, I can't freaking wait. Well, I can't wait, and I am nervous at the same time. I can't wait because this year has been a piece of shit, and I can't wait to see the back of it, right? Why have I hated this year? It's because just nothing freaking matters, right? Nothing at all freaking matters. That should matter. Okay, all this like weird third world bullshit that the Biden administration is doing in America, right? There's all this like demonization of people. You know what? Yeah, this is a good little segue to start. I love this. So there's a woman called Kerry Lake, who's running for governor of Arizona. And the way she deals with questions is so freaking good. 1 second. Well, we might not watch this whole clip, but it's wonderful. Here we go.
People of color feel like they're unfairly targeted by police. Are they wrong to feel that way? And regardless of whether there's any merit there, what can you as a governor do to improve perception of police? Ensure that everybody feels like.
Can you repeat the first part of that? I missed that.
Yeah, a lot of people of color feel like they're
a lot of people
targeted.
of color. A lot of people of color. How many people of color have you talked to about that?
I mean, if you look at
boom, there goes the dynamite. A lot of people. Yeah, how many?
surveys. I don't
Which
have numbers in
surveys? I'm
front of me.
happy to look at those
So-
stats
so
because
it's-
I will tell you this, that I talk to people of color. I talk to all Arizonans. They're all concerned about the crime. Just
I mean, I just love the way. I just love the way she did that. It was like, called them out on their bullshit straight. Oh, well, people of color are very concerned about the place. Fuck off. They're concerned about not having a 7-Eleven open in their bloody neighborhood because it's full of bloody crime because of you weirdos want to fund the police.
because your skin isn't the same color as yours doesn't mean you want your kids to be walking down the street in an unsafe neighborhood. Every Arizonan wants safety and security in their neighborhood. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. And if you look at stats.
By the way, can somebody answer me this question? How is Meghan Markle black? Right? I don't know how she did that. How is a hot white chick suddenly black? I don't understand. She went on Oprah and said the Queen was mean to me because of my swarthy complexion. You're a hot white chick. You're not black, for God's sake. I mean, listen. If they cast death with a black chick like Meghan Markle, I would have been fine with it. Yeah, look, Neil, look. I don't see what the problem. Yeah, that also makes me mad about this, about the times we're living in. I mean, Neil, mate, really? I mean, I'm sorry that it doesn't look like Sandman's getting a second season, but I'm kind of glad it's not getting a second season, even though it was quite good, because you're such an arsehole with the casting of Death. It was like, well, I see no difference from what I wrote to what. Oh, would you shut up? Yeah, for God's sake. I mean, like, isn't it? They just lie to your face and they expect you to swallow it. It's the weirdest thing. Right? It's the weirdest thing.
You will look and see that police do not target people of color. That is a lie that's been perpetuated by the left and then spread and disseminated and respread in the media. Check the stats. Check the stats.
But you don't believe that's an opinion a lot of people of color have?
I don't. I think you guys find one or two people, 3 or 4, and they're activists oftentimes, and then you spread that narrative. Go into a neighborhood and ask the people in neighborhoods that are minority neighborhoods, do you want fewer police? Do you want to defund the police? They will look at you like you are the craziest person on the planet. Nobody wants that.
And if I could follow up.
So I have no idea. This is Abe Hameda, right? Okay, Abe, mate, you look a bit Jewy to me. Mad respect. I have no idea if you are or not, but, you know, Lunsman, let's see what you got to say.
Look behind us.
Yeah, look, Abe, mate, they're mainly white. I mean, they're mainly white unless you count Meghan Markle as being black. If Meghan Markle's black, this is the cast of Roots, okay?
Acting as if it's one race joined the law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement is made up of our community. Of course, they have a vested interest in keeping our communities safe, and they're not targeting people based off race. This is a lie that's been perpetuated by the media and by members of these organizations, and why you consistently bring this up is you seek to further divide our country. Right now, what you're seeing is law enforcement is under attack, and that's why we're seeing a rise in crime. Our cities are turning.
I like my wife's going to the States in November, which I'm not thrilled about, quite frankly. And I keep telling her, look, you've got to treat it like it's a third world country now. Like, you just got to keep look out when you get into the car that you're not carjacked. There's like, crime is out of control, especially some of the places they're going to, right? I mean, was it Illinois now? Starting in January, they just passed this law called the Safety, and which means there's no bail for anything. You just get out of jail free. Literally, get out of jail free for kidnap, rape, murder. Am I making this up? No, it's freaking insane, right? But not only that, the police no longer have the authority to come and remove anybody trespassing. Which means if you have a bunch of people come and invade your store, right? They were taking shits on the floor, shooting up in the aisle. They can't do anything, mate. Not a thing.
Into Gotham. And it's because of the job of the media has been highlighting these cases where sometimes it's an honest mistake. Law enforcement, they wear body cameras. They do every single thing right.
I mean, like, I hate to bring this up, but this always blows people's minds. Like, George Floyd did die with a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. He was probably going to die anyway.
And then all of a sudden, when there's some minor issue, you highlight it and you try to make it a bigger deal than it is, and you cause rioting on the streets. You have to honestly know how powerful your position is as a journalist. But right now it's waning, and this is why we have social media out there. This is why we're doing this press conference. But it's a shame on you to try to accuse us of saying that law enforcement and just targeting people of color.
They should have turned the camera on him and said, "Come, no, really, where's this reporting?" Right? Soon as he questioned him, he was like, "Humna." They never expect to be questioning their bullshit. Right? They never expect to be questioned because we live in a world without accountability.
People of color want law enforcement in their communities because, you know what, if you go to minority areas, they're the ones who are begging for police because they don't want their homes to be broken into. They don't want their Circle K's to be closed down.
In all fairness, you can close down the Circle K's. They're garbage.
But unfortunately, the media keeps perpetuating this narrative. But look around us, these brave men and women. Do they look like racists to you?
Well, kind of. I mean, they all look a bit racist-y. I mean, listen, it's all kind of the same. Unfortunately, Kerry Lake there, the woman is standing in front of the one black woman. Okay, and you look a bit swarthy. Again, if Meghan Markle's black, this guy is Kunta Kinte, okay?
No, they're members of our community, and it's time we treat them with respect.
I'll just add one thing to that. You know, they are wearing, many of our men and women in law enforcement are now wearing body cams. And I think when we're now seeing incidents that happen, you know, we're not just capitalizing like the media did for many years when somebody took a cell phone video. You find the worst part and you run that over and over and over and over again.
100% talking about George Floyd there, right? Must be.
But you don't run the 20 minutes that led up to that. And it's really unfortunate. You're telling a tiny sliver of the story. And it may look bad on video, but when you look back and see the 20 minutes before and what led up to that moment, almost all of the time, it admonishes the police officer. Nobody wants to be
Isn't that bad? Isn't admonishing a bad thing? Doesn't that say the police? Okay.
in a dangerous situation. And these
Well, she says it with such confidence, you know, so good for her.
men and women behind me and the people they represent deserve to go home to their wives, to their husbands, to their parents, and their children. And when I'm governor, we're going to see to it that they do make it home. And we're going to protect them. Any other questions?
I don't know who Abe Hameda is, but mad respect, mate. Mad respect. Let's get rid of that. Stop. How do we remove? Move from studio. Share screen. It's doink. Yeah, you go. Okay, so I ripped this off from Gary because it just made me laugh. He had the great thumb, or I think it was was it a thumb? I don't know, of the mountain from Game of Thrones with Galadriel's head in it. I think it's about right. I think we're just gonna do a series of that. It's so shit. It is so shit. Lord of the Cringe. Amazon's turkey dies slowly. Yes, it is so shit. It's frighteningly shit. I think after this, I'm going to post the House of the Dragon review. Man, I mean, he isn't looking good there. The king. Incredibly, this isn't even the creepiest episode in the scene of the episode. I agree with you. I'm nearly finished to listen to this. I am so surprised it's very good, right? I really thought it would be shit. I'm really liking it, right? It's a really good story right now. I've got a couple of episodes to go. It's a strong recommend. It really is. I wish it was a strong recommend. I still got to get to that last disc with the documentary about making the animation. Animation, good. Story, whoa. A little bit. Which one? Here, let me see if I can share a clip for you, which will illustrate this completely. There we go. We go to over here. My Doctor Who folder. Second Doctor. The Abominable Snowman. So I think it was. Is it episode 4 that you see the that they show you the what's it? Hang on one sec. I got to stop it so it doesn't start. And a second. No, that's not the one. Oh yeah, here. Right, this is just a quick clip because I don't want to get zapped, but you listen to the amount of dead air in this.
Come in.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The slow, echoey thing doesn't really work, right? Doesn't really work. It just makes it kind of, you know what it's like? What's that Bond movie? The not Spyfall, the one after that, not Quantum of Solace. Those last two Daniel Craig ones just kind of blurred together for me. Not the one where he died. Spoiler alert. What's the name of that one? I can't remember, but it was very disappointing. It's kind of like that.
You have no alternative.
Yeah, not. I mean, it doesn't really. So look at that design for the. It's awful, right? So here, let's see what they. Let's look at the Telesnap version, which is that's the end of episode 4, I believe. Right. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just like a gazillion times creepier. Yeah, what's the dead air?
My child.
Now, I don't like. Why couldn't they have done something like that? I don't understand. I mean, maybe he's not, Oriental. Maybe he came from somewhere else and took over the monastery. I don't know.
Come in. You have no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this looks so much better than what they did. Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry that you got all this like weird angst going on there, Gary Russell, about the inhumanity of man to man. How about, worrying about the inhumanity of you to us making shit Doctor Who, mate? I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you. New Doctor Who magazine out. Do you like the current era? If not, this issue might not be for you, right? This might not be for you. But if you want to know what it says without having to read it, I go over his Sasha Dewan's the interview, and what is he thinking with this pose, right? I like rock on Tommy, like nothing about this says the master, right? Absolutely nothing says oh yeah, masterful. Did I post this yet? I can't remember. Yeah, one second, let me look at this. Let me see why there's. I got a video coming out tomorrow, but I can't remember what one it is. It is this one. Okay, fine. There you go. Screen Rant's dumb, ignorant ideas on how to fix Doctor Who. And they are. Oh, God, they are so stupid, and they belie such an incredible lack of knowledge of Doctor Who, right? This is coming up at some point in the future. Yaz comes at the bottom of the poll of companions because she's shit. Basically, because she's shit. And this I still haven't finished listening to. It's just dragging like hell. What do you want out of me? This one I'm enjoying, but the other one, man, how long do you reckon before we see that logo vanish forever? Can't be too soon in my mind. Can't be too soon. Fine, let me get the chat. Jordan Lee is here. The irony is, the writer of House of Dragon was working on the Conan Barbarian series for Amazon, but they turned it down. The schmucks. Oh my God. And there needs to be a good Conan series, right? God. It's so shit. Lord of the Rings is just so insanely shit. Jonathan Cox is here. How you doing, Jonathan Cox? I'll say Paul Tosland is here. How you doing, Paul Tosland? The Sun Red is here. You got a stomach bug. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you're still here, and I wish you better, mate. I hope you get better soon. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, good evening to all the people on Earth. This planet is protected. Apparently, it's not. Have you looked out the window recently? Everything's awful. Everything is awful. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren M? PD Richard, this is what we want. Peter, I keep expecting you not to be here. I would. You know, I really need to get the poster, get that you sent me for the production involved in. It looks so cool, right? He's doing a version of Blackadder Goes North. Looks freaking awesome. I would so go to see that if I was local. Are you at a local shop? Drugs are fun. Don't ever, as the Doctor's Jewish brother, Dr. Jew, to save the universe from a Friday. You're going to be very, very disappointed. Yeah, not much goes on. Dr. Dave is here. How you doing, Dr. Dave? DC is here. Lord Dem Rings. Lord of the Rings. Is there a picture? What is the name of the Black Dwarf woman, Lord of the Rings? Let me see if I can find a picture of her. It's like somebody posted a particularly awful image of her with like her big chunky legs hanging out for some unknown reason. I mean, I don't know. No, here's one. I guess God, it's so awful. It's so awful. Well, here it is. Here it is. Why? Yeah, you have to. Oh, here we go. We zoom in. Like what? Like what are you bloody thinking? Like, oh, wait a minute, we got a really shit character that no one's gonna like under any circumstances. Better show a bit of chunky leg. Oh yeah, better show. That's Stunning and Brave, right? Stunning and Brave. No, it's shit. It's unbelievable. If you live underwater, underground, you're going to have a melanin deficiency. Well, that is logical, but Ken. You know, the people who said, obey the science, are you a science denier? You denying the science of climate change? You did science, until science comes and tells them no. And they're like, fuck science. This is science now. Mark the Vicar says that Obama wants to reign Marxist video. No, he's not a Marxist, okay? They are elitists, right? They are the aristocracy. And they want to turn us all into serfs, right? Listen, I said last year the just before the Jewish New Year, the taste of the year will be narrative hitting reality, and I was right. I was right about that. All those narratives have hit reality, got blown out the water. How much did it matter? Not a jot. Not one bloody bit. Didn't matter whatsoever. Right. So I think 10 days from now is going to start to matter, right? And I hope it's quick, right? I just hope these things go down quick. But you know, I think this is the darkness before the dawn, and I've been saying that for years. But I think the countdown clock is finally there. Sam Hyde is the greatest comedian of all time. I don't know who Sam Hyde is, but good for you, Sam Hyde, says DC. Dr. Dave said, props to Paddy. Thank you for saying his name right. Right, his name, Considine, too. He's great in the show. He freaking makes that show, right? I didn't like him at first. I couldn't relate to him at all. Now I'm so into his character, right? His like suffering character. He just wants to make things right for people, right? He's just responsibility. That's it. That's his main thing. He feels responsible. Like he doesn't want to be shagging the whoever it is, the 18-year-old, or maybe he does. But like, yeah, it's kind of his responsibility. The overly designed Photoshop piece is known as Tzvi Lebetkin's thumbnails. Well, that is me. That is me. I do go to town on them. Why tell him? I thought he knew already. I don't know what we're asking. I don't know what you're telling. Lonnie is there. How you doing, Lonnie? Thank you for joining us. Okay. Gareth Morgan. I was going to call you Goth Morgan. Chancellor Goth. No, Gareth Morgan. It was like Chancellor Goth, right? I do like the way that they use the same guy in the War Games as they in Deadly Assassin. I thought that was a nice. Do you think that was intentional? Or do you think that was just like, oh, you're tall and kind of like look right? But he was damn good in Deadly Assassin, isn't he? PD Rich says that's Tzvi Lebetkin. An MSNBC host got called out on her imperialist BS by a British historian. It was hilarious. Oh, I've got to find that. That's funny. My daughter's half Chinese, and now they classify her as a person of color. Okay, but this person over here, this woman's white now. Okay, because apparently, have your wife visit. Oh, where's she going to be? She's going to be she's there for work. She has to work for this charity so they're basically it's this big fundraising trip that they're doing for it, and so they're going to a concert, a convention, right? A convention in, I think it's St. Louis, and then they're traveling around. They're going to New York and Miami. I think she's safe it. Oh, so my son just got back on Thursday from the Florida Keys, right? And this gives you an insight into who he is, right? We were talking over Sabbath about how he got great tips. He was a diving instructor, right? And so he got like these. You could get like $50 tips from each person. And we're like, well, how did that happen? Okay, so here's the thing, right? I always got a lot of tips, but the other guy working didn't always got bad tips. Because the other guy working always made people feel bad. Said, "Oh look, your dive computer's not working. You need to do." But some I said at the end of every dive, right? Whenever I come up, I always said, "That's the best dive I've ever had," because he knows the people diving want to just feel they had a good dive, right? That's basically, and so he would say that every freaking time, and he did well by it. One time he got pulled over for the police or something. And he just put on his Israeli accent. I have the papers. He was like license registration. He's like, I need a Lomavin. Is it one of these pieces? His English is perfect. Yes, largely says largely hillbilly. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Listen, if I was a hillbilly, I guess I would be largely hillbilly. That is true. They bring on the firewall, try to give him a squaw, a parcel. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the stunning and brave dwarf, I mean, really, I don't get it. What has this got to do with Lord of the Rings? I really don't get it. Bad sound design. More crap animation could be a big finish. This animation I thought wasn't bad though, right? I thought, here, let me show you a little bit. We'll find another bit of footage. Yeah, it's good. Oh, but some of the design is awful. Like, look, the bloody jacket he puts on is pathetic. Where is it? Is it? So this animation I thought was quite good. See, I think that's pretty darn solid, frankly. Yeah, that 360 movement, I think they did well. I bought the DVD of this today. Well, I don't know if I can recommend it. I mean, listen, it's not their fault. The stories are kind of dull, right? The truth is, it's a 4-part story they stretched over 6 episodes. Derek Morgan said Hanna-Barbera animation looks better than this. Well, they put more money in that, Hanna-Barbera. If you want to see filmation from the early 70s, then it's here. I'll show you. If we find it, it's the what's the one they put out recently? Was it Galaxy 4? There was one Hartnell one. Here, let me find it. What one was it? I think it was Galaxy 4. Yeah. So this one really does look like see, this is much weaker, I think.
We don't wish you any harm.
Can't speak.
No, but by the look of that thing sticking out in front is unmistakably like a speaker to me.
He's trying to talk.
Yeah, you see, so I think they come a long way since this one, which was the last one. But it's a shame. I will miss the. I kind of like the animations, right? 1 second, we'll go back here. Okay, every time I look at this, I go, why? how do they think this was a good idea? Like, darling, I don't know what your name is, but how did you think this was going to go down? You thought it was going to work, did you? Nah. Well, you were wrong, darling. You were wrong. You was like the Filmation Tarzan cartoon. Blimey, I remember that. There was also this weird one where it was, who was it? It was Phantom Stranger, like this magician guy, and Tarzan, was it, in a super group? Filmation live action 1976 Ghostbusters. But I didn't know they did that. Okay. Still alive, says Soda Rangers. I'm very good to hear. Very glad to hear. Christian Bell, no chance but be awesome. Christian Bell as what though? I don't know. As Doctor Who? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Oh, it's your day off today, says PD Rich. If I got to the master, I would have done it Hannibal Lecter sort of way. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins as a master. So that's one of the things I've been doing when I was sick, right? When I forced myself to take time off. I've been binging Westworld. I'm on season 2. Just finished episode 4. I do not know what we were all kvetching about. It was fine, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I watched Lord of the Rings beforehand. But like, I have no idea what we're kvetching about. So far, I'm on episode 4, and it's a solid, good series. It's not easy to follow, right? It requires quite a bit of work. But I find it very, very rewarding, right? Mr. PC Gamer Forever is here. How you doing, Mr. PC Gamer Forever? Who else we got here? There we go. Keep going through the chat. Angels are now Caucasians, except when they're being beaten up by black people, then it's Republicans' fault, right? Which is weird. Who else we got here? Nearly caught up with that. Wayne by the fire. I hope you're warm with there, Wayne. Was that zoom in? I don't know what. I don't know what we're talking about. Everybody knows that that they keep dwarven women far under the ground light, so they're very dark. Yes, that's just science, right? Just science. It's so shit, right? There's nothing about this show that I want to be in it. Go see in their business. I want to see the making of, right? I want to see the making of all this piece of shit, so I can see how on earth they said, oh, this is going to work a treat. Oh yeah, people are gonna love this, mate. They're gonna absolutely adore this. I don't know. Let's get to a bit of Doctor Who, right? Let's get a bit of Doctor Who, because this story got my attention, right? That came out, I think, today. I wonder what the source is for it. Share screen. Doink. Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker regeneration as Sherlock-style twist. So firstly, what's your source for this? Now, the rumor that I've heard, right? I've heard many rumors that contradict each other. One, that Jodie will undoubtedly, absolutely regenerate into David Tennant at the end of a special. The other one I heard, which I don't know. I could go either way on this, right? The other rumor I heard, which I like, but I like more, is that Jodie doesn't regenerate, like it fades to white, right? And then you hear the weird master laughing over the end, so it's kind of like a weird cliffhanger, right? So this leans into the cliffhanger, and it makes sense they would do that because when they filmed it, they thought it was the end of Doctor Who. They thought they had killed it, right? They really genuinely did, because it was shit, right? They did shit, and so nobody wanted to watch it. Right, they went woke and they went broke, and it's amazing how the people who love to go woke always deny that they're going broke. They always deny it. But no, it's all good. The latest gossip about the centenary special marks a dramatic end for the 13th Doctor. No, nothing dramatic about this 13th Doctor. Exciting new detail about 13th Doctor regeneration have emerged, obviously comparing it to one of the most famous Sherlock stories of all time. Doctor Who magazine reports in the upcoming centenary special, recently titled "Power of the Doctor," features a Reichenbach Falls moments referencing the ominous. When was it? Where was this? They're talking about this. The scene. This sees a detective Sherlock Holmes, blah blah. Yeah, this when Detective Sherlock Holmes seemingly falls to his death. And look, Conan Doyle did basically kill him off at that point because he was sick of riding him, but then he brought him back. In a feature by Paul Kirkley of Doctor Who magazine, notes that the Master was intended to be a Moriarty-style counter for the Doctor when first pitched by... Yes, okay. It's unclear whether the Paradoctor will resemble this Arthur Conan Doyle story, previously adapted by BBC. It was on Sherlock and Robert Downey Jr.'s A Game of Shadows. Oh, that you can't call Game of Shadows an adaptation. I mean, I guess you can, really. But, like, not a very accurate one. In the same issue, the Master Sachuan speaks of his role in the hotly anticipated Doctor Who. It's not hotly anticipated. We all hate it. Hotly anticipated? No. Hailing co-star Jodie Whittaker and feeling the finished episode left him a blubbering mess. Like, oh, God, why am I in this shit? Oh, no, what did I do? I'm going to fire my agent. Like that, because I will believe that. He began, I wanted to be epic and moving, and I watched the episode myself, and I thought, I'm so glad we landed that, because it kind of takes your breath away. From this, we learn that actors have no fucking idea about what they're doing. They just say their lines. If you think this piece of shit, I'm not waiting on the fence to say this isn't a piece of shit. If you think this unbelievable piece of shit is gonna be good, right? And you look at it and go, oh yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm sorry, mate. You must have no idea what Doctor Who bloody is. Unbelievable. It's always been really easy with Jodie. Well, you know, I have heard she's easy. But yeah, of course it's easy with Jodie. There's no competition there, right? She is shit, right? She is unbelievably shit. You know, you are going to come out of this the better actor. 100% of the time, you're going to come out of this a better actor. Darwin concluded, I do my thing and she does hers. Yes, I act and she runs around. Go, no, I keep up. Oh, I'm going in front of my stairs. Oh, I keep up. Oh, I don't know what to do. What? Oh, let me scrunch up my little forehead to get that little line in the middle of my head going. Oh, I keep up. That's good. That's real acting. Well, Sachuan probably does a bit of acting. I do my thing and it just works. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're fibbing. It doesn't work because it's shit. And that's because even though the characters have so much animosity between them, me and Jodie really adore each other. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy you adore each other. But it's shit, mate. Which actually makes the scenes even more electrifying. I've seen you together. You were shit then as well, right? And a lot more moving than I thought they would be. I don't think they're moving either, right? I think you're full of shit. What do you want out of me? Especially in the Centenary special, I watched the episode on my laptop in a dark room, and I was just a blubbery mess. Oh, I don't know what you're taking at the time, mate. What other news is there? Andor comes out in a few days, doesn't it? I think it's this week, isn't it? So this is interesting. Am I on board for this story or not? Here, 1 second. There's going to be a Blade Runner 2099. Now, how do you feel about Blade Runner 2049? Here's the thing. I thought I liked it more than I did. I find it somewhat unwatchable because it's just so dry, right? And it goes on way too long. It's getting a TV treat. Well, that's actually not the first time. There was a show called Total Recall, which was just pure ripoff of... what's it called again? Total Recall TV show. It was a total ripoff of Blade Runner. Total Recall 2017. Let me see if I can find a trailer for it. We'll go to the YouTubes. YouTube. Total Recall 2070 trailer. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this looks like it. Man, it's not even in. I mean, you probably can't even find it in HD.
In the year 2070.
Okay, why is it black and white? But yeah, you see, it's riffing very, very strongly on the total. On the. Oh, here, do we have the trailer over here? It's got the full episode. The trailer. Is that if they have the titles? But you see how it's ripping off Blade Runner, right? This is pure Blade Runner. Yeah, this is the titles. 90s sci-fi. Yeah, so I don't know what this has to do with Total Recall. But yeah. Look, you see it's pure Blade Runner. Okay, let's go back over here. Now, although this is being done by Ridley Scott, and I like Ridley Scott, so rumors that the series set in Ridley Scott's sci-fi world was in the work, circulating since February, but the show was greenlit with Silka Louisa. Oh, piss off. Appointed as showrunner. Okay, well, I should probably. Let's see what she looks like, because it's just going to be a self-insert, right? That's all they know how to freaking do. Okay, so that we're going to see the hero looks basically like her, right? And Scott, executive producer, judging by the titles, that 50 years after 2049, 27. I loved. I mean, like, I really did like it. It's just, man, it's not very rewatchable, right? Although I'm big into the AI thing, right? And that's why I like Westworld so much. Westworld is just solid. Again, season 2, I'm up to episode 4. I don't know what we're all complaining about. It's so far, it's really good. Speaking of the project, Amazon boss Vernon Sanders. Oh boy, that is not a good. That's not a good person to come in your corner. Really, that is not a good idea, mate. Amazon boss. Okay, hang on. Vernon Sanders. Let's see if he's doing anything Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Does he have a credit on that? Season 2 won't film in New Zealand. Hey, who gives a shit about any of this? Let me go to IMDb. IMDb.com. All right, let's see what he's known for. Okay, The Enemy Within and Harry's Law. He was additional crew on Harry's Law. Blimey. That was it? And he's the co-head of television at Amazon Studios. Oh, clearly completely qualified and not a diversity hire at all. Original Blade Runner directed by Ridley Scott is considered one of the greatest, most influential sci-fi movies of all time. Well, that's because I mean, honestly, the reason why Blade Runner is so well regarded is it was made during the writer's strike in Hollywood, and people didn't want to lose their jobs, so they just kept putting more and more work into all the model work, right? That's why it looks so incredibly unique. Plus, it was a perfect storm of Ridley Scott really wanting to bust out of the shell and do something extraordinary. The stuff in what's the guy who got older too young with accelerated decrepitude, J.F. Sebastian, right? So his apartment was in this building, and there's a building that they use in every cop show Like in every episode of Kojak, they always end up and they're like, you can't use that. Everyone's going to wreck this. Not the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to light this thing in a way that nobody's ever seen before. And it really, really worked. But then you mix that with the incredible visuals, right? That they had all that extra time to work out. The what's it called again? The lens flare on the lights from the police cars flying overhead. That was only because they had more time. They're like, well, let's try it with the lens flare and see how it works. And it worked fantastically, right? It's just because they had a lot more time. But still pretty good. Bad Reboot are involved with the new Constantine movie. I heard that wasn't happening. I thought we got reported because it wasn't happening. Bad Reboot's star is falling very, very quickly right now, right? They were so hooked into Warner Brothers, and now Warner Brothers is like, what is all this shit you've been making? What? Lovecraft County? What? How is this so shit? Right? Unfortunately, I've lost a few good things as well. Like I would like a 5th season of Westworld. I would certainly like a 3rd season of Raised by Wolves. But you know, what can you do? What can you do when when there's a tidal wave of shit? Good stuff are going to be washed away with it. Fine, let's have a look. So yeah, I forgot Vernon Sanders. Meanwhile, back at Amazon, Vernon Sanders is considering Ridley Scott's going to one of the most films of sci-fi movies of all time. We're excited to introduce Blade Runner 2099 to our global Prime Video customers. We are honored to be able to present this content. I hope you do it better than you did with Lord of the fucking Rings. What the hell's up with that? We are honored to present this continuation of Blade Runner franchise and confident that's teaming up with Ridley, Alcon Entertainment, Scott Free Production, and the talented Silke Louisa. Blade Runner 2099 will uphold the intellect, themes, and spirit of its predecessors. Well, okay. I just don't have so much confidence, mate, right? I don't have so much confidence. This series is co-created by Alcon Entertainment, who holds the rights for Blade Runner. Alcon co-founders Andrew Kosover and Broderick Johnson were beyond excited to continue and extend Blade Runner canon into a new realm with a provocative storyline. I wonder if it will be, a bit woke. I wonder. They added audience first discovered Ridley Scott's brilliant vision for Blade Runner 40 years ago. But since then, it became one of the most influential sci-fi films of all time. Yeah, it was a flop when it was released. Dennis Villeneuve's follow-up sequel, Blade Runner 2049, it became one of the best review sequels of all time. Yeah, but man, try watching that again. We also recognize the bar is very high for next installments. Together with Silka and our partners at Amazon Scott Free Production, we hope we can live up to that standard and delight audiences of the next generation of Blade Runner. Casting details have yet to be announced. It's unclear whether Ford or Blade Runner 2049 co-star Ryan Gosling or Ana de Armas will reprise the roles. No, you're not getting any of those people, right? No is the answer. Ana de Armas, though, freaking love Ana de Armas. The more stuff she's in. Again, she likes being a woman, right? It's so weird. It's like you don't see every now and then. It seems so much now. She likes being sexy. I mean, like, okay, more of that. That's good. Yeah, no, they're not going to reprise their roles. It's that simple, mate. Anything else? We talked about She-Hulk on, what was it, Wednesday, Thursday? That was shit. Oh my god, 20 minutes of nothing with a gold Daredevil helmet in it. It was just shit. Right? I'm interested about this story though, the Sherlock Styles twist, because that does feed into the other rumor. But here, let's look at the other side. We might know how David Tennant returns to Doctor Who. May we now? Maybe by Thomas Bacon. Thomas Bacon, always good for a laugh. Fantastic breakfast meat. We might know how David Tennant returns to Doctor Who now. Really? Yeah, here's how it happened. You hired Jodie Whittaker. She was completely unqualified for the role. Just completely awful. killed the show along with Chris Chibnall. So then the show was dead, and I think Rusty Davis wanted to bring it back and make it popular again because they essentially took a shit all over his legacy. And so that's how David Tennant came back. So that's the real story. Let's see what he's got to say. The title of the Doctor Who Centenary Special has finally been revealed. And let me ask you, if it was revealed 6 months ago, what difference would it have fucking made? Right? What difference would it have made? Like, who cares? Genuinely, the power of the Doctor. Oh, so you're ripping off previous episode titles. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? But again, that's Chris Chibnall for you, isn't it? I mean, like, just no idea. By the way, you can see. Oh, it's gone now. There was a little picture of the villain from what's it called again? House of the Dragon. The crab feeder just now, and he was wearing this mask. And somebody pointed out it was exactly the same as the mask the Sons of the Harpy wore, who were a problem for Daenerys in the latter season of Game of Thrones. You know, I really wish I could go back in time and tell Dan and Dave, said, listen, mate, this is what you should do. You should do 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, right? 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then say, and then leave it and say, look, we can't do. It's been it's high pressure work, and we're burnt out. We need to hand over to another team, and they could have got another 5 seasons easily, and they would have saved their reputation. They would. I mean, would they still have that Star Wars job that they got and all those other jobs they got? I don't know, because they're all drying up pretty darn quickly. I saw that Rogue One got cancelled. Yeah. Listen, Wonder Woman 84 wasn't very good, was it, Paddy? Fine. The title of Doctor Who Centenary Special may explain how David Tennant returns. How? Pray tell. Jodie Whittaker's time as Doctor Who is sadly coming down. How is it sad? I don't understand. Like, how on earth is it sad it's coming to an end? It's been awful. There's been nothing about it that has worked well, right? It's been absolutely terrible. I mean, has it been as bad as this? Let me just compare it. Has it been as bad as this? Yes, it has. It has been. Like, again, why? Why are you doing this? Like, what do you think? I don't understand. It's nice, Lenny Henry saying, "Oh, we're making new stories." Yes, but they're shit. Why not make new stories that are, And this is look. I'm not a TV professional, right? I'm not a TV professional, but I just I don't think it's very successful. Where are we up to? She will appear in one final episode, one kidney stone or hell we got to push out. Releasing as part of BBC's centenary celebrations. Yay! We destroyed the BBC. Yay! This will see the Doctor confronted by a Session One's master and an army of villains. He is united against it. Oh, what you mean, like the one the Pandora open? Yeah, I'm ripping that off. This is expected to be the final episode of Doctor Who released in 2022, but in 2023, an even bigger year for the longest running sci-fi show, the 6th anniversary, Rusty Davis, blah, 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 returning, 3 specials, blah, blah, blah. Surprisingly, he isn't the only one. David Tennant appears to be reprising his role as the Doctor, as well as he's been seen in the Whittaker era TARDIS. That is true. It does have the Whittaker era TARDIS shell, suggesting this isn't some sort of missing adventure. No, of course it isn't. So there's so many suggestions about that. Rather, somehow Whittaker is going to regenerate into a parcel. Not necessarily. No. Not necessarily, mate, right? It could well be fade to white, right? Sherlock-style ending. I think they're ending it on a cliffhanger, right? I think they're ending it on a Doctor Who cliffhanger. Which it's just hilarious, right? It's absolutely hilarious that's what they have to do. You see, The argument that Tennant's coming, that she's going to regenerate into Tennant, is that he turned up and he filmed an extra scene to go into it. Now that seems likely to me, but I hope it's not the case. The BBC have been oddly secretive about the centenary special. What compared to Chibnall? Oddly secret about the title of the centenary special. Sorry, yeah, that's very true. I thought about the 6th anniversary stuff. At first glance, it's difficult to see why. I still don't understand. The Power of the Doctor isn't quite as bland. It's quite a bland and formulaic title. Well, of course it is. Following the pattern of specials under Stephen Moffat, but the titular power is clearly the ability to regenerate. With Chibnall revealing that there are no limits to the Doctor's lives, and the Master is aware of this, and it's reasonable to assume that he will aim to still or weaponize the regeneration engine in some way. That seems reasonable, right? He's trying to steal the power of the Doctor. Yeah, it's very, very literal and very stupid. That sounds like Chris Chibnall to me. Such an act could conceivably cause something to go wrong with the regen. No. Listen, if David Tennant's in it, he's been tacked on to the end, and there's no plan going through this, right? How do generations fit into Doctor Who lore? Well, we've never seen one before. Have we? I mean, not on screen. This would fit with classic Doctor Who This would fit with a classic Doctor Who regeneration storyline published in the comic strip form in 1979. Then it's not canon, you dumb fucks. For God's sake. Oh yes, no, comic strip. Doctor Who Weekly, issue 1718, featured a two-parter. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. I know you keep banging on about this. Regenerations draw power from the time-space vortex. I'm not sure that's correct. Meaning similar temporal. Blah blah blah. Leading her to take on a familiar face, such as Swiss foreshadowed in the Day of the Doctor. No. Okay, Thomas, mate. Thomas. The reason this is happening, right, is because Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall fucked up. Right? That's the reason it's happening. No other reason. It's only happening because Chibnall and Whittaker fucked up. Now, if you go back and watch their promo stuff from before it aired, they thought they were going to be the bee's knees. They thought they were going to be stunning and brave, and everybody's going to love them forever. Oh, yes. The bestest ever. They didn't know how much they're going to fuck up, right? I think they worked it out by the time they got to Doctor Who Flux. I think they had their budget cut and then their episodes increased to stay alive, right? I think that's exactly what happened. I don't know. But don't try and tie it into Tom Baker's cameo in Day of the Doctor. Why was Tom Baker in Day of the Doctor? Because he's a beloved, fantastic Doctor, right? That's why. It wasn't coming in to save it, because they didn't need saving then. Idiots. Doctor Who's marketing has been excessively secretive of late. Yeah, because Chris Chibnall is, as well as being bad at writing, as well as being bad at show running, as well as being bad at casting, is also freaking awful. Like, freaking awful at marketing. But as possibly there was a reason this time. The formulaic title of the Doctor Who Centenary Special it may seem like a formulaic title. It potentially offers a major clue to the plot. In doing so, it hints away Tennant could read it. Oh, please. Dude, play again Pickup Strix, because you are clutching at straws. Let's have a look at this article. How long is this? Because this kind of... Okay, it's a short one. Because I wanted to look at this for a while, but it's like, when we're going to get a chance. Doctor Who, Sean Connery also almost played an unseen Doctor, okay, in 2005. Sean Connery almost played an unseen incarnation of Doctor Who in an animated series. What? In 1989, is this animated series never happened? There was somebody going around saying that they were making animated series after 96, right? And they showed some production artwork, and it was clearly an amateur drawing something on his desktop, right? Or not on his computer desktop, on a piece of paper, and it wasn't going to happen at all. So in '89, cancelled, the longest running show. In truth, Doctor had been living on borrowed time for years. That's true. With the BBC only relenting from an early attempt due to backlash from fans, more from a political maneuvering from John Nathan Turner. This time, however, there seems to be no coming back for Doctor Who. Naturally, enthusiastic fans and indeed many producers were unwilling to accept this. Yeah, there's a ton of tenders to make Doctor Who. In addition to the popular range of novels continuing the Doctor's adventure over the next few years, saw many figures approach the BBC to regenerate the Doctor for the 1990s. This ultimately led to the 96 movie starring Paul McGann, which tried to Americanize his host. Sadly, it proved a failure in the US, but listen, I don't think it was really fair. It's up against Roseanne. Dad having a heart attack in Roseanne. It was huge at the time. And also, I got married about the same, about a month later. I thought it was great. I loved it. Likely in part to the amnesiac plot meant the Doctor didn't really have a solid chance to give viewers an idea what this Doctor was like. What nonsense! That's absolute nonsense. Another attempt to relaunch Doctor Who this time, however forgotten. The Bigger on the Inside podcast spoke to Ted Bastian, an animator who worked for a Canadian company called Nelvana, who revealed the BBC approached them with the idea of doing an animated spin-off starring James Bond actor Sean Connery as an unspecified incarnation of the Doctor. The Doctor Who animation was inspired by the success of Droids and Ewoks, and Bastian shared artwork, clearly drawing inspiration from the Doc in Back to the Future films. Oh, I see. So, yeah, no, I've never seen this before. Oh, I did see this. I do remember this. Right. Yeah. Thank God it didn't happen. Unfortunately, BBC didn't really seem to be convinced. Well, why would you? This looks like shit. I mean, I'm glad it didn't happen. God, it looks like garbage. They weren't convinced. Bastian recalls rumors that the powers that be tried to persuade Navava to pay the budget. Matters have likely been complicated by Doctor's labyrinth character rights, which are more difficult to navigate in space-time vortex. In the end, rival studio based in UK promised they could pull off a better animation on a cheaper budget, and Navala fell through. It didn't take long for those plans to fall through. Sean Connery never got a chance to play the Doctor. Yeah, I think it's good news. Things do feel as though they worked out for the best, though. I mean, yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, that was a dumb idea, right? That was I think it's fair to say that was a dumb idea. Doink. Fine. Speaking of dumb ideas. I think it's worth having a look at this one. Second. Desktop. Doink. There we go. Okay. There we go. Speaking of dumb ideas, how about this? Why don't we take one of those beloved movies, right? One of those beloved movies and movie series and book series of all time, and just make utter shit out of it. Why don't we do that, right? That's bound to go down well, right? Yeah, make sure it's got black dwarves in it with chunky legs, because, the kids love a bit of black dwarves with chunky legs. Oh, man. Can't get a bloody enough of it, right? So everything about this show is shit, right? Everything about the show is shit. Oh, you saw the trailer for Doctor Who? Yeah, I saw that as well. It looks really nice. And it's all desperately looking for an identity, because they were terrified of going with the identity that they had, which was Lord of the Bloody Rings. So they're like, it's just crap. Okay, all of this is derivative, chasing Game of Thrones, and it's just shit, right? It's painful shit. And we got to do Game of Thrones, but I haven't said that. I don't like House of the Dragons titles, frankly. Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Now, I may forget quite a few important things about this episode because it's utter garbage, right? It's utter garbage. Let's see what these showrunners have done. Now I'm intrigued. 1 second. Because it always amazes me. Let's go back to IMDb. The Rings of Power. 1 second, share screen. J.D. Payne and Adam McKay. I mean, because it's always bears pointing out like how awful these people are. How would you relate Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? And you're lucky you got that. Okay, fine. Right, I remember I looked them up last week because they'd done nothing. Right, they've done absolutely nothing. Filmography. Lord of the Rings. That's it. Look at this. I mean, I don't get it. $1 billion bloody dollars. Like, you better have pictures of Jeff Bezos eating babies or something, right? God. Let me see that picture. Let me see the picture of competence. Yeah. Oh, look at us. We got a job that we shouldn't have. It's 100% who they are. Look at them. And they're all very white men, aren't they? I mean, so much of diversity, right? I mean, like, where's the diversity behind the camera? None whatsoever, right? None whatsoever, because they're full of shit. They're like the people from Martha's Vineyard. They're just all full of shit, right? So the shit starts. Oh God. Oh. You know, again, if you're going to do a show about heroism, right, about heroes being heroic, right, if you're going to do that, maybe understand heroism, right, and femininity and masculinity are different things, and pretend that they're both exactly the same. Not say women can't be heroes, not say men can't be heroes, but the heroism in both is intrinsically different. So here she's being super feminine. She's got a thing where they're blessing the babies of Numenor. Oh God! And every time I think of a name that's in Lord of the Rings, Power of the Ring, I just think of Maldrin Clark saying it in a completely unconvincing, breathless way, right? Every freaking time. So she's blessing the children. Oh, being so maternal. Now, apparently, they could have gone with a few different rulers of Numenor, but they went with the black one because I don't know why. Just random happenstance. Anyway, this is an important plot point, but you wouldn't know it, right? Again, there's so much stuff I find out are like Easter eggs after watching it. I had no idea about. So they got this tree, and if it blows leaves, right? If it blows its white leaves, it's a bad sign, right? And then because of that, you see a big flood coming. Oh no, flood coming! Whoa, Numenor's going down! Oh, crash, bang, wallop! Crushing everything in its path. The end of Numenor, and floof! She gets drowned. No, but I'm starting a brave! Floof! But she woke up, it's just a dream. Oh, I think it's a really stupid part. She wakes up, right? And her attendant's going, well, what are you planning on doing today, my lady? I mean, like, really? She just woke fucking up. Go look at the diary. I don't know. Leave me alone. I want my orange juice, okay? Meanwhile, over in the market, a Trump rally is happening because white men are white men and toxic masculinity is bad. White men saying, oh, they're coming for our jobs, these elves. They live forever. Oh, they're super strong. Oh, they're going to take our jobs. Oh, but she's watched on by... okay, so this is one of the characters. This idiot kid sailor apparently is going to be King Isildur in 50 years or something like that, and this is his sister who's just been accepted into the Draftsman's Guild because reasons. I don't know bloody why. And so then, meanwhile, this politician is walking around town, and he's going, he's walking around the market with his son, who is particularly soy, right? My son made completely of soy. I mean, like, I understand, like, what? Why? That's my overwhelming question throughout watching this entire debacle. Why? Just why? Right? And so he's being political. Meanwhile, the Trump rally's going on. Oh, they're taking our jobs. They're taking our women. Oh, and she's like, oh, this is bad. This is very bad. And so the politician comes along and says, no, don't worry, my friend. Don't worry. Numenor will stay for the humans. Yes, we will keep the weird foreigners out, much like, you know, the people in Martha's Vineyard. That we'll keep the foreigners out. Yes, because we're men and toxic men. And like, yay, toxic men. Yay, toxic men. Oh, I love toxic masculinity because it's always toxic and masculine. Yay. Oh, let's all drink. And yeah, he goes, drinks all round. Where's there a fucking bar? What? Drinks are... How does that work? I'm in a town square. Drinks for everybody. Okay, then. Yay! Drinks for everybody. Oh, look, it's very multicultural. Well, not really. There's one black person. No, there's two black people. Yay! Multiculturalism. Yay! Oh, free drinks. And so he's like, do you fancy a snog? Not really, no. I'm stunning and brave. Okay, then, because I'm a bit of a wimpy soy boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Meanwhile, oh God, she's so annoying. See, this is where this show is like a relentless rusty spike shoved up your ass, right? It is with a Gladriel. Oh, I am Gladriel. I am insufferable cunt. Really? I'm an insufferable cunt too. Me too. We're both insufferable, but I'm in charge. I'm more insufferable. No, I'm more insufferable because, I mean, firstly, why is she shorter than these people? Aren't elves like super tall and ethereal? Not. Wait, let me see if I can find this tweet by Gary. 1 second, because it's really. Was it Nerdrotics? It's really brought it home. Self-insert. Nerdrotics, I think. Is that there? What was it? There we go. Here. So we go. It's always self-inserts. It's constantly self-inserts. I mean, come on. Really, come on. Isn't that a little bit obvious, right? I mean, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, well, that's a bit when she's in the water because she decided to get off the boat that took her to death, right? Battle of the Resting Bitch Faces, says Darren M. You are so right. Oh, God. Like, yeah, why did Numenor die out? Because nobody wanted to have sex with these awful women, right? Nobody wanted to have sex with these awful women because they're awful bloody women. You know, I feel kind of the same way about, was it She-Hulk? Was it last week? She went dating and it was all terrible and like everybody she dated was bad, right? And so clearly it was the writers saying, oh, how hard it is to date. All the men you meet are bad. Maybe make yourself into a little less of a shitty person, right? A shitty, entitled, insufferable person. And maybe you won't just end up dating shitty, entitled, insufferable men, right? Maybe that won't happen. But no, I mean, just look at her face. I mean, like, what about this is inspiring? Like, this isn't, okay, this is this is because in a pandemic form, that we don't understand the difference in masculinity and femininity. And women, generally speaking, don't understand male strength and vice versa, right? That's a general rule. I'm not saying 100%. But she clearly doesn't understand what male strength is, right? And that's what she's trying to exude. Well, she just comes across as a cunt, right? And you're like, but if a man did it, it'll be okay. Not really, no. A man will do it with like body language, which is, I don't know, a little less irritatingly cunty. right? Irritatingly cunty is not something you want to shoot for. Irritatingly cunty is a bad idea. One, the script for Navala's Doctor Who would have him, it would not connect to the original series, arrive at the planet where the Daleks have regrouped and are building new cases with caterpillar tracks. Well, okay, and I'm glad that didn't happen. But while I am sad that this did happen, and I don't even like Lord of the Rings that much, right? I'm not a Lord of the Rings maven, right? It's not like the most important thing in the world to me. There we go. Oh, I am glad. Like, really? I am the queen. I am in charge of everything, and I'm stunning and brave and strong. Well, I am Gladriel, and I will talk down to whoever I want to, whenever I want to. It doesn't matter because I am right. And she demands to see the king. Said, look, I want to see your dad, not you, cunt. Okay, I want to see the real power because I will not be put aside by you. Oh yes, you will. And they put her in jail. Really? And this is the jail they should have put her in one of the black cells. From Game of Thrones, right? Or one of the Sky Cells. See how she survived that. I mean, honestly, I've never seen a character that I want to see get destroyed more. So irritating, right? Meanwhile, speaking of irritating, we have Stunning and Brave Man. So again, Easter egg, he's going to be Isildur, the guy who cuts the ring of power off Sauron's hand. Now, honestly, I didn't understand it. I don't understand any of the lore because I don't know any of it, right? I assumed, right, that big battle at the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings, awesome, right? With Hugo Weaving, calling the, like, blowing the horn or whatever, and they all, like, get their cool elfin swords. Not many girls there, by the way, get their cool elfin swords up, and they're charging. Fucking awesome, right? So they said that Sauron makes the rings of power. So I assumed everybody thought Sauron was good at one point, right? But this is 1,000 years after they knew Sauron was bad and he's vanished from the world. Anyway, so he grows up and it cuts off the finger, right? But now he doesn't want to be on a boat. No, he wants to live life. So he makes a mistake. He puts that there like this, and they go, boom, it flies off, and he's got to save it. It says, oh no, I did it. It's me. You better send me away. He said, you're all fired. You and your two idiot friends here who look kind of gay, right? They all look kind of like gay children. And it's like, oh, I feel bad. I got you. I had you destroyed your life's wish. Yeah, you got everything because you had Captain Man Boobs as your father. We had to work our way up, and now you screwed us over, right? Speaking of being screwed over, we have I keep ripping off from that Gary. What's the guy's name from CNN? Don Lebanos. Don Lebanos. He's had a failed escape attempt, and they said bring him to a door, and then Orcs all like, yeah, emo, Orc, emo, yeah. So there's an Orc dying. and then Adar comes, who's a elf, who is like a orcish elf. I don't know. He's in charge of the elves, the orcs. Okay, for some reason, he's a traitor elf or something. I'm sure people know about him. I couldn't give a shit. And he eases the orcs dying by stabbing him to death, lovingly. And Don Lemon looks on, not looking elfish at all. And they talk, said, where are you from? I said, I've been there. And they're like, who are you? We never find out, right? It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, these elves have been here for 70 plus years in this tower, watching over this area to make sure the orcs weren't returning. And they totally failed. Totally, completely failed. Meanwhile, the people are running from the orcs because now everybody knows about them. Last week, she had a stunning and brave woman had to cut an orc's head off so anybody would believe her. This week, they're all running to the tower from all the villages. Everybody comes in, and there's not much bread left, right? And the baker's like, I'm not cutting my bloody rations. Or are they potatoes? I can't tell. Not cutting my bloody rations. We need food, right? So she's like, okay, we'll have to be stunning and brave. And her weird, very tall young kid said, oh, I'll go and get them. She says, no, it's too dangerous, right? But he goes anyway with his friend, and they're like, yeah, let's go and see if we can find any food. They go and like gather up everything. They run around, and it's daylight, so the orcs are scared of daylight, so they think they're fine. He goes, looks around, he gets some grain, but then as the shadow comes over the sun, that means the orcs must be coming. Oh no! And Orca comes and attacks him. Run away, run away. And he's got this Sauron's hilt of his sword, and it starts to glow and grow, and he's like, get back! And he's like, oh, that's what we've been looking for, right? And they go, he goes running away. Meanwhile, he goes and hides down the well, as you do. And then he hides under the water. Oh, just got to get out in the nick of time. The orc didn't get me, right? Meanwhile, back in wherever it is, the elf's capital, it does seem like the weird groomer gay elf, right? That's a weird groomer gay elf says, you know, I am going to drug you and rape you. You understand that, right? Said, oh, yes. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being roofed. And he's like building well. So then he goes back to, oh, God, this is also awful. He's back to the dwarves now. They got their own Westeros Express, right? So he goes back to the dwarves, says, hi, what about this looks like Elrond, right? I mean, like, again, Hugo Weaving really liked him. This guy, what? This fluffy packet of soy is Elrond. Really? Piss off. So he's talking to why are we seeing her like, darling, this isn't a good look for you, right? This is not, you do not look hot by doing this, okay? And again, this character is just shit. It's just like, oh, we're so stunning and brave. We're the bestest ever, and we're wise. We know everything. And he's like, well, where is your husband? He's like, oh, and she gives him bullshit, right? And she lies to him. He's like, look, I know you're lying. He's like, well, she talks her way out of it. Meanwhile, later he says, oh, it's going very well. This is great. Just don't tell him anything. And as they talk out on this open bridge in a completely subterranean place, so it makes complete sense. They would have black elves. Complete sense. Black dwarves, I should say, and elves. Makes more sense as black elves. Meanwhile, no, he's not imagining sucking his groomer's cock. He's actually lip reading. And he goes, oh, they're up to no good. They're up to no good. So he goes and smiles. God, look at him. Like, who thinks this smug piece of shit is worth watching? So he goes and follows him. He's in the old mine, and he works out how to open the door. He just knocks on it a few times. Does the trick. Don't know how he does it, but he does the trick. And then he goes, and he's looking around, going, oh, something's happening here. Something's happening. He's found a seam or something. And his little dwarf friend is like, oh, what are you doing here? Bollocks hell. Said, you shouldn't be here. So they're mining this ore, which is supposed to be really good for something. I don't know. Would it be what they make the rings of power out of? I don't give a shit, right? Oh, this was something from the previous episode where they open up a mysterious box. And they go, oh, we can't know our secret. And inside the mysterious box is this special metal, which they really, really like. And it's dangerous to mine, and his father forbade them from mining it. So we got to keep it all secret and on the DL, right? That's what's going on. And he's like, oh, this is Elphinstone or what? I can't give a shit. What is this stuff? Meanwhile, there's a big mine collapse. Oh, Ekithump, mine collapse. They're all in trouble. Meanwhile, over the island city of Numendor, the Isidore's sister, who's being a draftman, is drafting, a bit drafty, and she meets Soy Boy again. Said, hi, do you want this drink? It's totally not roofied. Totally not roofied. Okay, you're going to be totally fine. Meanwhile, Gladriel walks about in her captivity, not like it at all. But I am stunning, and I am brave, and I am woman. Hear me cry, hear me roar. And he's like, you're just an insufferable cunt, darling. Okay, get a grip. So they come to release her, right? And again, got the serious face on because I'm stunning and brave. Well, I think she attacks the takes out all the numinal guards, I think. Meanwhile, they're talking about, I don't know, who gives a shit. Again, all this is boring. I don't care about any of this or any of these characters, right? None whatsoever, right? Nothing about this is interesting. So she beats up the soldiers and she breaks into the king's tower, right? Because she's an insufferable cunt, and I want to do it. I want to. So she breaks in. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing in here, you insufferable cunt?" Said, "I am an insufferable cunt, and it is my birthright." And the king's like, said, "Oh, he's nearly dying." And she's like, "Oh, I've been in a bit of an insufferable cunt. But we need to fight Sauron. Sauron is coming." She's like, "Shut up, fucking weirdo." Self-insert. Look, you're a white woman, but I'm a black woman, so I'm more important than you, right? Because that's how it works. I'm more important than you. I'm higher up on the progressive stage. Says, "Here, this is why you must go." She takes it to a crystal ball, right? And he's like, "Oh, I know how to read one of these things." So he reads it, and she sees a big vision of Numenor being drowned again. Like, oh, that is why. Yeah, and it all starts with you showing up. Like, really, that's why we don't like elves. And again, shouldn't she be taller by a head? But it doesn't matter. None of this matters because none of this is about Lord of the Rings, right? None of this lore matters. It's all about saying that black people are people too. Also, who doesn't believe black people are people too, other than reporters, right? Meanwhile, she's back at the Elf Tower. I guess it's next to Mordor, or what's going to become Mordor. Stuff goes on. Can't bloody remember. He comes back and he's got some food. Oh no, his friend comes back, right? Meanwhile, her boy is still hiding in a well, and he takes the opportunity to climb. He waits till night, right? Till the place is full of orcs. So he waits till night before he climbs out, because that makes sense, right? And they're all looking for him and the hilt of the sword, walking around, and then somebody catches him and fight or something. I don't know. Yeah. When he looks, he thinks he's safe. Oh, too late. They come and gets him. We're gonna get you. Gonna cut. Oh yeah. This bit makes no fucking sense. I forgot how much this doesn't make sense. So the orc's like, gonna cut your arm off. That'll tell you. Now you'll tell me where the hilt that sword is, right? And all of a sudden, boom, a big knife goes through him. Like, what's going to happen? And it's Don Lemonlos. Don Lemonlos somehow has escaped after the last thing we saw him in activity at his failed escape attempt. So he escorts them back, and you get lots of slow motion. They're like, oh, yes. This is just like Lord of the Rings, slow-mo running. Oh, he turns around and he shoots his arrows at the advancing orc. Because this is, it was just like that bit with Sean Bean, except that nobody gives a shit about any of these people, right? It's such an intense lack of understanding of the source material, right? An intense lack of understanding of it. And slow motion, run, everybody, slow motion. And along comes her mother, and then saves them. Everybody get back, and they make it out, and it's dawn now, apparently, which holds them back, right? The sun came up, and they all like, bah, humbug, I can't get you now, I'm not exaggerating, that's the dialogue, okay? That's what happens. Meanwhile, oh God, it gets more shit. Do you remember that shit character that nobody likes? Come on, darling, show us a bit of leg. Everybody loves a bit of that. Show us a bit of leg, would you, honey? No, I'm going to sing instead. Lots of female dolls sing. It makes the sand curdle, right? And start to shake and twist, right? And the female wolves, they grasp each other and they go, oh, we're so stunning and brave. And female energy, yay, we'll save the day over toxic masculinity. So yeah, they're singing so everybody will be saved from the mine crash, the implosion. And Elrond is, yeah, I'm fucking useless. Again, what does this have to do with Lord of the Rings? They're like, oh, they've all been saved. They've all been found alive. Yes, because I sang and I have big thunder thighs. My thunder thighs saved the day. Thank you, Thunder Thighs. That's her name now. We're going to call her Thunder Thighs. Why? Because you had to flash your thunder thighs everywhere as if it was a good thing. And then they talk about shit. Who cares? Hi, do you like me being stunning and brave and showing you what to do? Yeah, because I'm a stupid man. Thank God for that. So he goes to visit his... Oh, right. So he says his father won't see him anymore because he was mining without permission. And Elrond's like, oh, I'd love to see my father again, even if it was to be scorned by him. And the father's like, oh, you're a good boy. Well done. You've done well. And I don't give a shit. Meanwhile, Don Lemonis explains, I was allowed to escape, right? The only reason I'm here is because I was allowed to escape. So I could tell you, you can live here, but you've got to like just completely obey the orcs and they're in charge, right? Otherwise, they're going to kill you all, okay? And you can actually see the CGI in it. Like the back here is, the background is so green screen, right? And they pan down to everything going on in the, we're going to leave food. Meanwhile, the kid has got back and just been kind of useless laying on the floor. And the baker guy's like, you're one of us. You like Sauron like we do. Yeah, I can tell you got the dark mark like us. So we got to wait for Sauron to return, and then you're going to reward us. So it's like, oh, will I turn to the dark side? Oh, I don't know. Meanwhile, that's the elf orc, isn't it? I can't remember what he was doing there. Oh God! Now I get shit again. Shitter. So Gladriel is marched off the island. Thank fuck for that. Captain Manboobs will take Gladriel. Only I can sail the insufferable cunt with my amazing man boobs. Yes, and off she goes. Fuck off, bitch, says the Queen. It's a good move. Donald Trump will be proud of you. Because let's keep Numenor for the humans. Keep the elves out. Elves out. Yeah. Trump rally. Yeah. Captain Manboob's like, I will take you to the vessel. But as she walks home, she sees the tree start to shed its white leaves. Right? So then it gets weird. And she's like, oh, what have I done? And she looks at Captain Manboobs, and Captain Manboob's back somehow. I don't know how. I said, oh, we got to do something about this. So she calls a big meeting, and she says, yes, we're now going to help Gladriel because the tree with the white leaves. And we're going to put our army together to go and face Sauron or some shit. I don't know. And Captain Manboobs reads the proclamation. All those amongst us who will join up to sail with Gladriel. Oh, she's so stunning, so brave. Sign up and then I will go, she says. And so will the other people who they lost their job. I will go, and I'm totally going to be fucking the other sailors on the boat. Me too. Oh, maybe I should go too because I'm a stunning and brave woman. I don't give a shit. And they're like, yay, we all go, drinks all round. And then they're stunning and brave. We're going to be stunning and brave together. What's happened this episode? Let me think. Gladriel's been an insufferable cunt and has convinced Numenor to help them, even though they know Numenor's going to be destroyed because of her somehow. Don Lemonis failed to get out and then was let out. We got a bunch of dwarf thighs. We got thunder thighs. And who gives it? Like, who gives a shit? This is like 5 minutes worth of plot. 5 minutes worth of plot stretched out for an hour, and it's awful. It's fucking awful. Oh. He hasn't mentioned white supremacy enough to be Don Lemon last year. I'll give it time. Give it time, right? Darren M said, every time I see that elf, I think of the MP and the Holy Grail princess about to break into song. Yes! Is it Monty Python? Yeah. It really is, isn't it? Oh, God, let me see. I'm going through the chat, people. See what I have to say about this. Did you meet the senior citizens? The senior citizens home with the stripper and tire. I did see that. I was like, sign me up for that, right? Sign me up for that. Fine. Let's have a look at banning in the comics. See what's going on in the news. Doink. Share screen. Man, I'm definitely feeling better. Like normally at this point, I'm about to drop. Right, I'm wrapping up the stream soonish, but normally at this time I'm like streaming with sweat. They got kicked off Star Trek and Beyond and replaced by Simon Pegg and Justin Lin. Bloody hell, that's pretty bad. That's pretty darn bad. The people are making them. Yeah, this thing, The Woman King, a fantasy that runs from truth. Yeah, and whoever's starring in it said, "Oh, you're all sexist because you don't want to see a movie about a black woman." Yeah, I don't give a shit. Okay, look, if you can't find an audience, don't make shit. Right? It's not us being sexist. It's you making shit and hiding behind your skin color. Shield, Attorney Law, episode 5, 20 minutes of absolutely nothing. That is fair. That's absolutely fair. I love this. Rogue One acts from Disney lineup. Yes. But I don't understand. It's so stunning and so brave. Transgender DC parody of the People's Joker, Paul Toronto's festival. Okay. Sony claims Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal will have major negative implications for the industry. Microsoft insists Call of Duty will remain multi-platform. It's going to be whatever. Born Again is going to ignore previous series law. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a pretty darn good idea. Brendan Fraser and Michael Keaton are sad that Batman got cancelled. Oh, this is funny. Frost, right? The destroyer of worlds. G4 host post tone deaf means celebrating her continued employment after massive layoffs. The reason there were massive layoffs is because you went on this massive tirade going, oh, it's not right that you people are talking about I'm not so bangable. You're not so bangable. You look like shit. I'm sorry, darling, right? I'm sorry. It's not my fault you look like shit. And at the same time, this arsehole was like going, yeah, you said. Right, well, now they had to they essentially destroyed the company, right? Millions of people, lots and lots of people laid off. Well, how did she respond on Twitter going, let's play some games, yo. I survived. Yeah, you survived the devastation that you made. Idiot. Emmy rating plummet to record. Well, of course it does. Who gives a shit? Like who on earth gives a shit about the Emmys? John Oliver decries Law and Order as pro-cop propaganda. It's a complete fantasy that many in this country are happy to buy. What? That the cops don't want to kill you all? Fucking idiot. And again, he's exactly the person from Martha's Vineyard, right? Exactly the type of person. Do we have any footage from that? One second, I'll go to Jack Pozerbeck. Hang on. Where is it? 1 second. This is funny. Wait. Where am I? I'm on the wrong. Yeah, I'll find share screen. Share screen. I cannot even begin to describe everything's wrong with this scene. It's yeah. Okay, fine. It's worth watching this scene because it's so bad. Yeah, they let Galadriel out. This is crazy.
Step forward.
I wouldn't advise that. I can't very well let her leave. You could.
I mean, like, I mean, what was worse, that or the Kenobi series when what's the name took out the stormtroopers? Yeah, but there's got to be pictures of them freaking out in Martha's Vineyard. Hillary Clinton calls Martha's Vineyard migrant crisis literally human trafficking. Well, you would know, darling. You pervert husband. Here we go. This made history. Illegals bust out of Martha's Vineyard, Castlevania 2. But did we see any footage of the people there whining? Oh, it's so funny when they finally have to live with the consequences of their own idiot policies. Right, look at this. It's a cute photo op, but it just places people who shouldn't be here further into the country. I think we should bring buses, drive them to the border, and send the other way. Trouble is, they can't do that. They can't. They can only do commercial, internal travel. They can't internationally deport people. That's federal, right? There's no good footage. Let's see the. The island. Look at this. Okay, the island Martha's Vineyard. We respect women. We respect Black lives. We stand for the LGBTQ members. We stand with immigrants and refugees and indigenous people. Really? Do you then, darling? Is that what happened? And all people are faced. We stand with our community. Well, not so much. You didn't. Hate has no business. Really? Man. Any other shots of them? Okay, well, this is weird. Liver King has arrived at Buckingham Palace to pay his respects. He's a Liver King. I don't know what that means. No. All right, fine. Not much good footage. I can't believe the Lord of the Rings people got kicked off of Star Trek into Darkness. The other one, Star Trek Beyond. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Here, we've got one more thing to look at. There we go. Let's have a look a bit at Matt Smith, right? Matt, so you never got to remember what good Doctor Who is. And boy, do you see the bloody difference. Where is it? There we go. Doink.
You could do it.
I think you could read the auto prompt.
I've got bad R's. Okay, so...
back up.
Well, here we are, America. You can catch Matt, which is me, on House of the Dragon on Sunday nights on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. But right now, it's time for a check on the weather. Mr.
I mean, he's got so much bloody charisma and personality. It's freaking crazy.
Al Rocker, who's a dude, by the way, is standing by with the forecast. Al, over to you.
Would you like to do that? Hey, Matt, come on over and just do the... come on.
Crikey, Moses.
You were in the quintessential American play, 12 Angry Men. You can do American weather. What do you...
Now, the thing is, can we actually see this, or is it that thing where you can't see it?
No, this is the real thing.
Well, there's heavy rain up here, obviously. Strong storms in the middle of the country. New York's doing all right. Bit of sunshine. The plains have got a lot of heat, but we expected that. And to the west, well, the west is... Oh, there's a bit of a thunderstorm. So watch out. People can't drive in LA. Be careful.
This is the classiest weather forecast we have ever had.
Yes, Al. My man.
All right. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening around Matt's neck of the woods.
Way to go, Matt!
He's awesome. What can I tell you? He's just freaking awesome, right? And smart hire. Whenever you get him on any TV show, he's a smart hire. I watched The Crown because of him. I think I watched House of the Dragon because of him as well. I mean, Paddy Considine, or whatever his name is, they're all fantastic, right? But he's effortlessly brilliant. Fine. With that, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. So my next stream, by the way, my whole schedule is off. So Saturday night, I'm streaming on Monday night and Wednesday night this week because Thursday, my son finishes his basic training in the army. It's a big ceremony. And then next week, I'm probably going to do a Saturday stream because Sunday night is the Jewish New Year. Probably do a Tuesday stream and a Thursday. That's my guess right now. I will let you know as the week goes on. I'm actually feeling quite a bit better, so I'm really quite excited. David Adams, Centennial special predictions. What are we expecting here, Rabbi? It will be shit, right? It will be shit. With that, I'm hitting the end broadcast button, and you know I'm going to be right. I'm hitting